Hi guys, welcome. My name's Andy and this is hopefully the start of a YouTube channel for me. Don't know what I'm going to call the channel yet, have a couple of ideas, might need some suggestions if any of you guys that watch this, and hopefully share it and ideally subscribe. But I say it's my first ever video, so we shall see. It might be rubbish, I apologise now. But I'm thinking, old man in the woods, old guy in the woods, I don't know. Anyway, the channel hopefully is going to be about a bit of bushcraft, a bit of wild camping, new techniques, old techniques. I've camped since I was a youngster. Haven't done any wild camping for a long time, so this is a learning curve today. I don't know if you can tell from the video, but it is very uneven here, but this is the best of a bad spot where I am now. There's also, as you can see in the background, a lot of dead trees, so lots of dry wood for me to use, so hopefully I can make the most of it. Anyway, we shall see how it goes. I'm going to stop the video. I'm going to try and do a bit of tidying up here. I'm sure you don't want to see that. Well, I suppose I could leave it running and then just edit it once I've learned how to edit. No, could be a learning curve, should be a learning curve, may need some help and advice from you guys. Very disorganised today. I'm normally quite organised when I go camping, but this was a last minute decision. I've had a bad few months. Recently lost my mum, who my wife and I were carers for, and so I've not had time to get out on my own and do anything. I do go to the odd motorcycle rally, so I do camp several times a year normally, or only once or twice the last couple of years due to caring for mum. So I'm going to try and make this a regular thing, try and get some videos made and edited, see how we find it. Anyway, I'll plod on. I'll start doing some tidying up here. I'll video some of it, not all of it, and we'll see how we go. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll speak to you in a more. Well guys, that's a little bit tidier. I forgot to introduce Wesley before, by the way. He's my sprocker. It's his first time wild camping. So hope he takes to it. So they've cleared out a little bit as best I can. Still a bit lumpy, but once I get the tarp down and the air bed up, I'll be right. Did find, just next to where I'm camping, this little fire pit that someone's used previously. So I'm presuming before all these trees were down, because that would have been where I would have gone, because it's a lot leveler. But also noticed I've got a bit of a widowmaker above me. Forecast isn't too bad, no wind. I'm going to take the risk. This is a one-off here, and then hopefully next time I'll have somewhere a little bit better. I'm going to go and do some research and try and get some permission to go somewhere properly and regularly. I say this is just a one-off wild camp, leave no trace. Anyway, speak to you again shortly. Well, as I say, I've cleared out here a little bit. Had to stop. I thought I heard someone with a drone, but if I did, I don't know where they are. I can't find them. Definitely heard the drone, but can't see where they're filming from. Making sure they weren't messing around near my car. As I say, I'm going to put my tarp up between these two trees. See how we go. Now, it's not any particular brand of tarp, it is just a cheap Temu or one of them places. I've had it for a while, but I think I've only used it once before when I was camping with a bike, and I used it as an extra rain shelter. So, but don't seem too bad. So, and it's a while since I've used it. It's also reflective underneath, so hopefully that will help. Anyway, let's see how we go. So I'll get myself a guy up. God, not coiled this as well as I could have done. Now, as I say, I've camped all my life. Every kind of camp you can think of, you know, tents, caravans, building bivvies. Never done a snow shelter, I'll be honest, but I know the principle behind it. Under tarps, but I've only ever done like a ridge frame. I've watched videos on doing other ones, so hopefully I can learn a few more. Just going to do a straightforward ridge down the back, slightly up at the front this time, and we will take it from there. I'll say the first one I'm just more concentrating on actually getting it up and sorted, so I'm not going to go through knots or anything. I'm just going to get on with it for now, see how we go. Can't remember which knot I'm going to use. Trustic, I think this is. Not good with my names. Right to tie them, but I've left the long end on there because I'm going to use that to tie my rucksack up as well, I think. Oh, it's actually quite a nice day now. As I say, I nearly didn't come because it was raining, and I thought, no, should I bother? But then I thought, you know, Bear Grylls, Ray Myers, Ed Stafford, Survivor Man, all them crazy people aren't put off by the rain, so why should I? Although rumours have it that the old Bear Grylls stays in a hotel. I can neither confirm or deny that, it's just what you hear people saying. I'm going to try and do a trucker's hitch on this side so I can get my tension right. So yeah, it's a bit messy, a bit untidy. Bear with me, hopefully it'll get better. Could edit it and redo it, but we'll make it an honest video for the first one. Wesley, you'll notice, has a bandage on. Poor fella tore his little back pad the day before yesterday. Only found it yesterday. Didn't flinch at the time of doing it, so didn't notice it for a while. Oh, that's fine. That's how I used it and left the loop in it. Alright, a good old trucker's hitch. That half hitch is just to fasten it off. And hopefully that will suffice. Oh, a bit better this time than last time. Don't know if I put it away last time, might have been my lad. Oh. Looks like I'm just doing it in time. I can feel a little bit of rain on my face. Now ideally, I want to practice a quick deploy method on this. Actually, I don't want it. But I need to watch some more videos to improve my technique and say hopefully be a learning curve together. Now, what I should have done was make up some loops before I started, but I didn't. Where is my bank line? Bank line's here. I'm going to pause this while I just make some loops. You don't want to watch me doing that. It says battery. A couple of things have happened while the cameras have been off. Hello Wesley, you settle down, good boy. Good boy, sit. So, first of all, you may have noticed my schoolboy error. Put the ridge too high, was thinking tarp over a hammock, but I haven't brought my hammock. It's airbed today. Although looking at the floor, I wish I brought the hammock. So I've lowered it. And then I had to go in a bit of stealth mode. I had people walking around. And I'll say this is just a quick stealth wild camp. But I am going to try and get a woodland maybe a bit closer to home. This is a good hour's drive from home. But try and find somewhere where I can go more regularly to the same place as well. So settle down. Very needy dog, you can see. Sit. So yeah, had to go in a bit of stealth mode just because I heard people around. The other thing, I say, whilst the camera's off, I've fastened the bag up to the tree, and I've struggled getting my tent pegs. I always have a handful of metal, well, aluminium tent pegs in with my guy lines and things. However, no, it's moss and rock and shit here, so it's not gripping. So what I'm going to do, I am going to cut some spikes with my good old silky saw, and I'm going to put these in. Basically, move where I can hopefully get them in a bit deeper, and fasten the back of the tarp to that. I'll say the tarp will be fastened down at the back there. And as I said, I'm going to bring it out, bit of an angle. Now, where the camera is, I will show you in a little while. I've got a nice, what will be hopefully a natural fire pit. There's a large boulder that the camera's balanced on. As I say, it's early days. This is just my phone balanced on the bag that I carry my stuff for the dog, and a hat. So hence you're at a bit of an angle. Not ideal, but as I say, I'm just starting out. Give me a chance. I say I've got some half decent camera gear that I need to find, make sure it's still working, get together, but I just want to see how this goes. This is just finding my feet. As I say, I hope you guys watch it, enjoy it. Please give constructive criticism, because we've all got to start somewhere. I'm an old man. Technology is not my thing. Anyway, so I'm going to cut some spikes, as I say, and then hopefully from that I can peg the back of the ground sheet out. So I'm just going to do 2. Could do with some more eyes on this ground sheet, really, this part. This is the old silky Super Airsil C21. Not long got it. It was a eBay bargain. New, well, second hand, but still boxed unused. Now I had I've forgotten the make of the one I had. I'll mention it in comments or something when I work out how to put captions and things on, that I used to use, and it wasn't brilliant, but it Beko saw, and it's it's fairly common, but I didn't find it very good. Bought the silky, used it when I've done some motorcycle rallies and I had to cut some wood, and I've done it when I've been harvesting fat wood, which also, while I'm here with all these downed and dying trees, I'm going to try and harvest some more fat wood. So I'll show you some of that once I've found some, hopefully. But I've used it for harvesting that, find it so much better than the Beko. Beko was better than nothing. It now lives in the box of tools and oddments that I carry in the boot of my Land Rover. It's not a proper Land Rover, it's just one of them sports ones. I can't afford a decent one anymore. Had one previously, but it'll do for now. Gets me and the dog around, carries gear, nice car. So let's say 1 spike. And then, as I say, I'm going to fasten out the back of the tarp. I thought I heard someone again. I suddenly go quiet. You know why. I've camped here before many times in my youth. I'm an old man now, in my mid-50s, but no, in my mid to late teens, me and my mate used to come up here, camp up here for a week at a time. It's before they had all the dying infected spruce trees, which is the problem. I believe is it Forestry England are busy trying to cut down a lot of the diseased spruce at the moment. The 2 trees I'm fastened to have got nice orange markings just off camera, so obviously they're destined to be felled, but as I say, hopefully, just taking a little spike off while we're there, hopefully I'll get a more regular place to camp. I'm in the process of trying to look for a little bit of woodland to buy, if I can find a patch within. I don't want it to be more than 2 hours drive from my house, really, and obviously it's if I can afford it, but I'll say we'll see what happens. Watch this space. I might have a woodland to develop, which will give me more things to do, like some of the other channels I watch. I watch quite a few of you guys, and even though I've done this sort of thing, as I say, for years and years, I have learned lots of tricks. You just have to try and remember them. As I say, I put the loops on. I need to remember how to do I need to set up a fast deploy really for this, and I could do with putting some more grommets on. As I said, there's only one on each corner, the middle ones, unfortunately. Now, fortunately, I have a beautiful, lovely wife who is excellent with a needle and thread and a sewing machine, so I just might be getting her to fasten on at least 1 tab in centre, front and back of this, just to make things a little bit better and a bit more secure. Also, as I say, I don't know how this channel is going to progress. Sorry, I'm absolutely roasting. It's very muggy. Yes, Wes, I love you too. Very lovely, needy dog. As I say, I don't know how I'm going to go. I want to do a couple of videos, put them up there, get some feedback and see how it goes. I want to do a bit of wild camping and bushcraft, try some of the things that I've learnt off other channels and tell you how I find it. I want to do, I'm trying to do a little bit of leather crafting, so there'll be some of the projects from that. I've made a couple of the bags for bits and pieces that I have here out of waxed cotton, so hopefully I'm going to make some more things along that line, some foraging stuff. So I'll show you the stuff as I make it. The first few bits I'll probably just make off camera, because when you're learning they do tend to be a bit rough, don't they? But hopefully, as I say, as I get a bit better, I might even put some of that on. But I don't quite know what I'm calling the channel, and I don't know quite which direction. I am open to suggestions, I'm open to advice. Any YouTubers out there that have been doing this for a while, help an old man out, help me learn. Anyway, I will quickly show you where I intend to build my fire, see what you think of it as a natural fire pit. Oh, poor old bones. So, I have a nice big boulder there that's reflective. I'm going to lift out the boulder that's here and make a bit of a semicircle here around that. I'll lift the moss up, and then hopefully when I've finished I can put the moss and everything back and there will be no trace, because I believe that's how you should wild camp. Anyway, I will cut the film and I will have a look around and I will put it back on when I've hopefully something interesting to show you. So, I started doing the fire pit, lifted out the moss. I've actually put it under my bed for now, but I'll put it back over the stones when I'm done. And I'm going to use some of the stones from this other fire pit. Tell you what, these are some combat gloves from Temu. They're not brilliant, shall we say. I might get my leather ones out. Proper safety, leather safety gloves. A bit better. But we'll crack on with these for now. So yeah, I'm going to build a fire pit here and then we shall see. Now I've got a cooking thing that I can put across, so I'm trying to build something that it'll bounce on well. I'm knackered already. It's getting old, so no fun, guys. Now then, hopefully I can get a fire going in there. The ground is littered with loads of little twigs and things. Right. Now then, I don't know how long this has been down. I think it fell over as the dog went past. But that is my fire pit. Solid stone underneath, a little bit of moss to dry out, but it's got rocks underneath, so nice and safe. I've cleared a lot of the twigs and debris from around it. Gonna have a breather, get a cold drink, then we'll try and start a fire. See you soon. Well, that's a nice view I've got through the trees out onto the fells. So, and I've got my fire pit dug. I'm going to cut some wood off this dead pine, or off one of them ones over there. I will cut that. But I've been to the car to get my bottle of water, and I've got my chair. I had planned on just using that little folding cool box stool that I carry my pack and then put my food in when I get here. But I cheated. I walked back to the car. I grabbed a 3 litre bottle of water because I'm so hot I'm going through my fluids so quickly. So, and I thought while I'm here, I'll cheat. I'll grab the chair. It's in the back of the car. So that's what I've done. The water, just tap water. I have got a stream, well, a river. I think it's the start of the Duddon actually, which is about 3 minutes walk from here. And I've got a burlap bag, and so I could get water and I could filter it and I could do, and in future videos that's what I intend to do. Today I'm knackered. It's my first camp. I didn't get here till late. Finding it harder than I thought, because it's hard work doing it on your phone, to be fair. And no, I just cheated. Just got the 3 litre water out of the car. But we'll do water filtration in the future. Show that I can do it. I know what I'm doing. Can survive if I needed to. So yeah, gonna now go and cut wood. I'm not going to film that, but I'll get a reasonable stockpile of wood. I can then get my fire going, make a brew, because I'm gagging for a cup of tea. Now I've drunk about 3 litres of water, well, 2 litres of water, but I'm gagging for a cup of tea. So that will be my priority. I'll film it when I get the firewood cut. See you soon. Well, the fire is going. I was going to show you me lighting it, but the midges came out. I was getting eaten alive, and I just needed to get it going to try and keep the numbers down. And it's working. Did manage to light it with a ferro rod and a homemade fire lighter of cotton wool, Vaseline and wax. 2 strikes, up and going. So now, as I say, it's just a case of letting it burn down a bit, and then I'll get to cooking, as I say, and the kettle on. That is the priority. When I'm at that stage, I will be back. Well, the kettle is on at long last. The lovely grill plate that you can see there is salvaged from a stainless steel pot rack that my better half wanted to throw out. I also have like a flat plate with a few holes in it that's ideal for frying on, that I might use to fry my breakfast. I've got sausage for breakfast and possibly for tea. I haven't decided yet, but we shall see. But yeah, kettle is on. Fire's doing nicely, a bit smoky, but no, the wood is damper than I thought, even though it's off the ground. I think it's just because it's diseased and it's not doing so well, but anyway, it's burning, it'll work. So tea's on, sausages are cooking. Gave up on the kettle because it was marking, so I don't know if it maybe should have been over open flame. Gone to a pan, so I can put it directly into the flame. So I can have me brew shortly. I'll create my own shadow. Yeah, here we are. Bed is half set up. I've just blown the airbed up. Couldn't find my bivvy bag, so it's going to be the airbed wrapped in the reflective tarp, sleeping bag and tarp, and I should be fine. And Wesley has a fleece sleeping bag for him to go into as well. Can't forget about the dog. So there we have it. Tea is 3 sausages in buns with a chunk of cheese. I forgot the ketchup. and I need to get out of that because my lighting's bad, and a P Wally cup of tea. I think I should have used 2 tea bags because they're pretty weak, and then we shall see how we go after I've eaten all that. So after I've eaten all that, we shall see about a nice golden ale. So we'll take it from there. I'll probably say one last hurrah to you before I go to sleep. Well, this is good night. Just turned midnight, I think. Yeah, 10 past midnight, or thereabouts. Early for me, though. I only got bed this side of 1 o'clock, but I'm shattered after all that wood cutting and doing earlier on. Leslie's all curled up in his fleece sleeping bag and his fleece romper suit. So got me all light lantern there, giving off loads of light. Even had it on red earlier on when I thought there were people around. And the fire is still burning. You know, I've just put a couple of logs on it. It should burn for another hour or 2, and hopefully bounce some heat off that stone behind it and keep me warm. It's not actually cold tonight, but we'll see how we go. This is me signing out. I'll speak to you in the morning. Good morning, campers. This is the devastation of a night's sleep. Actually, it was quite comfortable. It was warm enough. Went well. Dog settled very, very well. Trouble is, you can't sleep late in a forest very easily. So it's now just gone 5:15, and we're just starting to get up and sorted. Wesley there in his romper suit that he slept in. He's already been out exploring, see what's around this morning. I'm gonna now get the fire going and start breakfast. So, not used to getting up this early. I'm a shift worker. I have blackout blinds. I can sleep all day and not realise, well, often do sleep all day when I'm on nights, no pun intended. Alright, speak to you soon. Well, not a good setup. In typical Lake District weather, it's decided to rain. So I'm now under the cosh trying to rush and get the fire going before it rains on it. I hope I've got the camera set up in such a way that you can actually see a little bit of what I'm doing. Doesn't help, I've got to come backwards and forwards in front of you for the stuff I forgot to pick up. Need to organise better. I'll do a list for next time. So, started doing a list of what I need for next time I do one of these lovely adventures. Sorting the camera gear out is a priority. I'm hoping that by the time I've finished doing this, I actually have something that is worth posting. But the trouble is, doing it on my phone isn't easy. Oh gosh, where's my knife? Oh, it's another solid one, I think. I made several of these fire starters recently. I was making a new kit up for my son. I didn't know what else to get him for his birthday. I knew he didn't have a decent bushcraft knife. He's doing a bit of wild camping with his partner, sometimes on his bike. I don't think he started filming it. So I thought, what can I get him? So I got him one of these Mora knives, because all the cheap and basic, God, the midges are out again, another reason for getting this fire going. They are excellent quality for what they are. Get out of it. And I made him up several different ways. Bought a new fire steel, 1/2 inch one, because you complained that you only had one of them, you know, the little tiny ones that you get everywhere and on stuff and in survival kit and what have you. Oh God, midges are done here, didn't I? So I got a new one of them, treated myself to one as well. I need to fluff it up a bit more, I think. And I made various different types. I think these are the ones that were just pure wax dunked. Whereas the one I used last night, I think was one of the ones I'd made that had Vaseline on it. Or in it, I should say. Which worked better. Oh no, I've got it bloody contaminated with bloody. Get out of it. Only trouble fastening the fire steel on. Yeah, fortunately, I worked last night 2 strikes and it was going. So I think it's just because this isn't as good a lighter. Oh. Because I'm rushing because I'm getting wet through. Oh! That's definitely not done it any good. Straight into the water. I'm going to leave you running while I try and get this a bit better. Now I'll just edit the bed brace out. Try again. Really? Not the lack of anything from the ferro rod. Not good. Yesterday's lit, I literally 2 strikes and it was going. This one. No, not having it. Could be cheap and just use a lighter in my pocket. There was the fun being that. Well, that's that bit. Well, they were fairly dry 6 before it started raining. Quickly attaching me scraper back onto me striker. Sorry, my striker back onto me ferro rod before it's lost. I can use the back of my knife, what have you, but it's actually quite effective, so rinse that out and get some more water in there to brew. And there we have it. The trouble I've got, I can't stay knelt down for too long. I've got a knee replacement on this side, and I was school kid, well, younger than that, when I was 5 I think it was. I got a foreign body in my other leg at the knee. And so kneeling down for hours at a time is not easy, not good. Let me three bits. I chopped some up before off camera. So I thought I chopped some small bits up for this, but obviously I haven't. Let's see if that catches. Well, I'm going to phase out until I'm ready to cook something. Oh, and the camera's been laid down. I don't know for how long. I'll say priorities for getting sorted for next time I do this is I need to get some kind of decent stand for my phone that can fasten to one to my camera tripods. I found my tripods, just couldn't find the cameras that go with it. Ideally find them. I say one of them dodgy Chinese GoPro imitations somewhere. Then I've got 2 or 3 different genres of digital camera. But there's a fire going. I'll let it get going, burn down a bit. Not having a particularly big fire this morning, just enough to get cooking. We'll see you in a bit. Just sat here watching the fire, waiting for it to burn down to the right height for cooking on, contemplating, thinking. Well, did this a couple of reasons. One, just to see how it went. One, for my mental health, because I used to enjoy doing it, and from that point of view it's been really good. I'd say I wandered off my mum 7 weeks ago. Things are a bit raw, and this has really helped. Another one was to see how the dog would settle. He's been a bit up and down. I think he may have knocked the camera, well, the box the camera was balanced on before, so I need to get a proper camera stand. Oh. All learning. Fire's doing really well. Once it's burnt down a bit more, I'll be able to cook. Sausages again for breakfast, and a cup of tea. I need my morning cup of tea. Anyway, talk soon. That's the sound of sausages sizzling. Just thought, won't do that aspect. So God knows how I felt that out. That's the sound of sausages sizzling. Pot of water on for washing out the pan and a second brew. Currently I have my first brew there. Because it was so peewally last night, I put 2 tea bags in today. They're only the kettly ones you get in hotels that I've accumulated a few of that I carry in my brew kit. I have a little tin especially for tea and coffee, mainly tea, but there's a few instant coffees, 3 in 1, 2 in 1, whatever you call them. But yeah, sausages for breakfast again. Got a tin of beans there as well, I ought to have that. Possibly be alright actually after the sausages. It's still trying to rain, not too heavy. I've raised the tarp up a bit, give me a bit more space to cook and do. I'm just sat here looking at that view out over there. Beautiful. Really good for your mental health, really good for your general health. I've just now got to get myself a bit fitter. I'm absolutely knackered after all the cutting of wood and doing, because I'm so unfit. I've had a bad spell, I'd say, the last couple of years. Between work and looking after my mum, I've not been looking after me. So now I'm going to be a bit selfish and look after me and the missus and the dog. The kids and the grandkids, possibly. Shouldn't say that. I've just had a new grandchild, Oliver Robin Harrison, born the day before my birthday, born on the 8th of July, sorry, 2 days before my birthday. Mine's on the 10th, so here's to having fun times with him, getting him into mischief and mess, and then handing him back for someone else to clean up. That's the joys of being a grandparent. Right, I'm going to finish cooking breakfast. Speak to you all again in a minute. Right, well, brew is a lot better with 2 tea bags in. Just put this on, just wanted to chat to you about a couple of things. Now, I've brought several knives with me. Normally carry one or two with me when I'm camping. I have the Mora, which as I say is a new one. Bought one for my son, bought one for myself. Very good basic knife, loving it, very sharp, to the point I've cut through gloves and cut myself the first time I used it. The other knife I have here with me is a Damascus steel from Ravenforge. Beautiful knife, full tang. No, I'm only getting used to that as well. That's a new acquisition. But you can see I'm having an issue with rust. Now, I sharpened it a couple of weeks ago. I haven't used it since. When I sharpened it, I wiped the blade down, and I happened to wipe it down with some tung oil because I'd just done my chopping board and I had a cloth that was impregnated with tung oil, and I thought might as well use it. It's not obviously done very well. What would anyone recommend? I know I could, YouTube it and find out off someone else. Could possibly even get in touch with Ravenforge themselves and ask them. But what are other people using just to treat the blades and stop them from rusting? Not really had an issue before. I tend to prefer carbon steel blades to stainless steel, just because you can sharpen them better. But obviously stainless steel is great for, you don't have to look after it the same. But yeah, any suggestions? Because as I say, I like this knife. Handle's a bit short for doing anything. It only just fits in the hand. I was busy doing something with it yesterday and what have you, so I'm going to put a wrist loop on it so that it doesn't slip out of my hand. But other than that, it's a really good quality blade and I like it, and I can get a decent edge on it. I just don't want it going rusty. So any suggestions will be deeply appreciated. So please leave some comments below. Well, that's me about packed up, ready to go. As you see, apart from where I've been walking, no trace, except for the fire pit, which has had water on and is well and truly out. Now, I was going to dismantle it and put the moss back. I've decided to leave it. A couple of reasons. One, I do really like this place as a camp. Next time I'll come with some better kit and tidy it up a bit more. And it would be handy. But also, I'd say, from that other fire pit, other people camp here. This is nice, solid. It's got a granite base, so there's no fire risk. It's got nice flat surfaces by the time I finish doing it, so it's good for cooking on and around. So I will leave it in case anyone else wants to enjoy it. And I say you do get a fair bit of heat bounce back off that large boulder. So this is me signing off. I'm now going to go home, try and learn how to edit film, and then see if I can put something watchable on YouTube. So I've decided for now I'm just going to call the channel Andy B. I don't know what to call this first episode. Possibly Old Man in the Woods recaptures misspent youth. Bit long-winded maybe. We'll come up with something. As I say, I hope someone watches it. I hope people enjoy it. And I hope I get some positive feedback. And any tips would be greatly appreciated. Right, I'll head home. Back to my day job of A&E nurse. So, as I say, this is just my switch off. I just have to really find somewhere official that I can go. I've got a few places to ask. Anyone that's got any woodland in Cumbria, bottom end of preferably, but anywhere in Cumbria that would be happy to let me do some camping, wild camping, some woodcraft, maybe a bit of shelter building. As you can see, I don't leave any mess apart from the fire pit, and depending on where I was, if whoever was there said I had to dismantle it when I went, then that's what I would do. Anyway, anyone that's got any land, woodland that would be willing to let me, please get in touch. Drop me a message. Would appreciate it. Anyone that can give me advice, great. Anyone that maybe wants to say, well, look, I've got a bit of woodland here, come and camp with me and go through some stuff, I'm up for that as well. Fit it in around work, but I need to start doing more of this, get my fitness up, get my mental health back in shape, and just enjoy the woods. Yeah. God, I look older than I thought. Almost as old as I feel. Nice talking to you guys. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it's been of some use, and I hope you keep watching. Speak to you soon.